All right, welcome in. Episode 21, the drinking episode. You guys can talk?
Yes.
Yay! Yeah. Invisible Beer's up.
They're on their way.
They're on their way. We've ordered Guinness and Clinky and all that good stuff. We're here at McNelly's. McNelly's Midtown, like we always are, in the what we've since dubbed the Cave of the Rotarians.
Yes.
The Dart Room. You'll find us here on random nights now. One of our agenda items while we record this evening is come up with a recording calendar, so we'll publish that. Porter Cunningham, joined as always by my good friend and co-host Will Bowerstocks. Will, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's been a great week for Rider fans across this glorious Metroplex.
Indeed.
My spirits are high, both literally and figuratively.
Well, before we get rolling, let's give a shout out and give it up to our host sponsor, McNelly's Midtown. Today, as of recording, is Sunday, July 17th. So starting tomorrow, the Beer Geek special of the week is going to be the Prairie Artisan Prairie Flair. That's 16.9 ounces for $14.50. So come out and check it out. The Brad and Shelley say they give thumbs up. It's a good beer.
It's like $1 an ounce.
Yeah,
I'm no mathematician,
is that good? I don't know.
That's a terrible price. However, it's a great beer.
Okay, all right.
Sounds like it's worth it.
Little on the steep side so far as beer commodities go.
Look what's here.
Tomorrow night, dude, I'm coming back for this. Tomorrow night
You want to tell us about it?
is Pint Night. Can you guess what it is?
No.
Okay, so we were just talking about this movie last night, Blue Velvet,
Blue Velvet.
with Dennis Hopper.
It's PBR.
It's PBR! F that! Paps! Blue ribbon! Yeah! I'm definitely coming to get a Paps
I would love to. Yes. Okay, I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in.
So, I don't know if this episode will be up by then or not. This is going to be heavy on the editing, but if it does come out, get out. Come to Pint Night with us.
Yeah. I'll do my best.
So, that said, let's get on with it. Corrections, signings, releases. Will, I originally wrote none here because it's been that long of a week, and then you had to correct me.
You were corrected.
So, correct us all.
Well, it's been a hectic week from the standpoint of 3 games, but the team was finally pretty active on, I guess, what we would call the waiver wire.
Fresh faces. The transfer window.
Long rumor, but finally announced release of Juanan.
Juanan? I don't know him. Did he play?
Juanan.
I've already forgotten him.
So I'm surprised because he didn't, if I recall correctly, he didn't originally play a lot, and then he was brought into the lineup in favor of Rashawn McKenzie to play alongside Footy. When our thought was because they speak the same language, and it's total fan speculation, because they speak the same language as a native tongue, maybe it'll be a better fit in the back four. And I guess that didn't really work out, and then I guess he skipped some practices or something.
Yeah, I don't think we ever got confirmation of that, but the rumor was he missed at least one, if not multiple, training sessions, and I don't know if that means a full practice or.
Well, I had one experience meeting him at the fan appreciation event in Bethany, where it was actually a very delicious, I believe,
Maya Latin cuisine.
It's like a Caribbean or a Venezuelan cuisine, and they had these smoothies. And if you go to my Twitter, my profile picture or my banner is me sitting at a table with Juanan and a couple other players, and Juanan didn't know what the event was, and he was asking other players in Spanish who I was, and because I was sitting at the table, and so I told him that I was a bigwig.
So do you speak Spanish?
No, I don't.
So how do you know he was saying those things?
Because Richie Minjavar was translating.
Okay.
Now Minjavar could have been playing a prank on me.
He's the rat.
He's the rat. So
he's translating for the gringo.
But look, I have a 2-second snapshot of that moment captured in my mind, so I'll always remember Juanan wherever he goes.
That's right.
I'll always remember you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know the guys from the podcasters from Minnesota United were really upset because they have this running joke that Juanan sounds so much like Conan the Barbarian. So
I think it's a really funny joke when you smoke 3 bowls before you record a podcast.
All right.
Just throwing that out there.
So one release and 2 signings.
Why don't you walk us through the signings?
Okay, Devin Sandoval. That's how Alan said it. That's how Alan pronounced his name.
Sandoval?
Sandoval.
Sandoval.
In Sand Oval in the Puerto Rico FC press conference after the game. So he actually corrected me. I said Devin Sandoval. I don't remember how I said it. Sandoval. Anyways, he's on loan from Real Salt Lake, a forward who was announced Wednesday morning and in the starting 11 Wednesday night.
Great head of hair.
Yeah, he's rocking. He could be in a Head and Shoulders commercial. He should be in a Head and Shoulders.
I think it's Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, but Troy Palomino's retired now, so they need a replacement. And I submit that replacement should be Devin Sandoval.
I'm in. All right, my congressman.
So he's already had a huge impact on the team. We'll hear that later on. But
do you want to tell us you did some sleuthing around the MSL subreddit about what to expect from him?
So yeah, as soon as they announced him, I went over to the MLS subreddit, and there was a post there. Somebody had linked the Rio Twitter account, adding him. A couple of Real Salt Lake fans were in there, and I said, what can we expect from this guy? The rumor is he's going to start over Samaras. Well, he's going to start, and over Samaras is depending on where George plays. And they said he's a great hold-up player. He's a bruiser in the box, so we've already seen both of that. And they said the one negative from him is he can't finish. So
strangely prophetic.
And so not to knock on him. And I asked, why has he been playing with Real Monarchs this year? And they said their reason, they didn't have a real reason. He didn't get injured or anything. They thought that maybe the speed of the MLS game had passed him by. So take that for what it's worth.
How old is Devin? Do we know?
I think late 20s, maybe.
Late 20s, okay.
He's been with Real Salt Lake for at least a few seasons. He did score a goal for the Real Monarchs against Oklahoma City Energy FC in Oklahoma City.
Awesome. Yeah. So at least his priorities are straight.
So
third player,
the latest signing on loan from the Houston Dynamo, Sebastian Ibeaga, a defender. Devin Sandoval is 25, is what we're hearing just now. So
noted.
Sebastian comes on to, I'm sure, help with the release of Juanon, help shore up the back four, provide another sub off the bench. I suspect we'll see him work his way into the steady rotation. He played his freshman and sophomore year at Deer Creek High School here in the Oklahoma City Metro before his family moved to Houston. I guess his father is in the oil and gas industry. His father was born in Nigeria, went to college, got his undergrad in Nigeria, moved to the United States, and Sebastian has been was in the youth national team program.
Excellent.
And he was in the Houston Academy program and also has some overseas experience.
Very good.
Good signings.
Yeah. 3 games, 7 days.
3 games, 7 days, 7 points.
7 points out of 9. So we got a 1-0 win at Ottawa.
Yep.
Great to take down hated rival in that fierce derby matchup. Squeaked out a come-from-behind 2-2 draw against hated rival Puerto Rico. So great to pull out a point of that heated derby.
Yep.
And then got a 3-0 win most recently against the hated New York Cosmos, and just a fierce derby clash.
Indeed. Every game's a derby. That's right.
Correct.
Note
my pronunciation of derby, not derby.
Derby. It's spelled derby, and unless you are from London town, you should probably pronounce it derby. Derby.
Man, I mean, what a week. Seriously, I
Let's do a generic like-dislike for the week, and before we
Okay.
get into specific game breakdowns.
Okay, likes from the week. I mean, I'm probably stealing everyone's thunder here, but I loved the game last night. Like everything about it, right? Samaras gets a goal late. We're also closing the game down and going to the corner. Michel, I've had the Michel chant legitimately stuck in my head all day.
Yeah. Remind me how the Michel chant goes.
Michel.
It's It's okay.
That's all I
You're
got.
good.
I just had Michelle. It's all loop in my head all day. Then I substitute in the Christmas, so it's like born the king.
Michelle was born the king of Israel?
Exactly. Yeah. Does it-
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I also liked last night's game. In fact, I was having a text conversation with someone last night saying, that game pretty much had everything you could ever want as a Rio OKC fan. You had the clean sheet. You beat the most hated team in the league. You beat the team at the top of the table currently. You had a Michelle free kick goal, and Samaras scored.
Yeah.
So what more could you want? So anything you disliked from the league?
Yeah. I disliked I don't know. Maybe this is too easy, but like I disliked how during the Puerto Rico game, we were texting and I was feeling pretty negative, like feeling real bad about everything.
Dude, it was really, you weren't the only one.
Yeah.
The mood in the press box was, we were all commenting on, and you'll see I asked the question of Alan, are you happy with your team's effort tonight? And up until like the 70th minute, and this, that was going to be my same thing. The first 75 minutes of the Puerto Rico game was what I disliked from the league.
Well, I disliked, I guess to unpack that, I disliked how fickle it feels like for me as a fan just to be like, we were so terrible. And then, we get a draw late. It's like, oh, we're so awesome. And then it's like, okay, this is just one game and it's a pretty good run of form for the team. But I also disliked the first 70 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I also
Agreed.
disliked, I don't know if this is bad to say, I'll edit it out, but I disliked the rumor that Ian Svantessen was like pretty pissed off about not even getting on the team sheet for the Puerto Rico match and made kind of a negative comment about not having like MLS experience. Because Devin Sandoval, like, how rare is it that you get announced and then that same day that you're announced, you start? Like, usually you're coming in the 60th, 70th, 80th minute just to like ease in, and he got the full-on start.
Yeah, I think I can
I just like that from the standpoint of like, we keep hearing about how it's a close team and everyone's like kind of like not good friends per se, but there's a good culture in the locker room. And I understand, I don't even know if I should have said that, right? But like, I understand the guy like being competitive and like wanting to play and like working hard and feeling like he's earned it. And Ian has, right? But I just dislike that from the standpoint of like potentially like disrupting the team cohesion.
So you dislike the rumor, or you dislike just the fact that the rumor got out, or you dislike that?
If the rumor's true, I dislike this. I understand it, but I dislike that it happened.
Yeah, so I think you could chalk that up to him being a rookie. So welcome to professional sports.
Well, I chalk
where
it up.
Every game is, you're competing every day for your position. So
I chalk it up to also like, being a competitor, being pissed about it. Like, I understand it.
I want him to be upset, though. You don't want him necessarily to voice it too much, but you want him to be upset that he lost his spot.
Yeah.
Because hopefully that sparks him to continue working on his game. I guess there's two ways it can go, right? He can either continue working, or he can get upset and just kind of go pout. But I don't think he will.
Cool. I just from the standpoint of like, hopefully there's not a grudge or anything. I'm sure there's not, right?
Right.
I'm kind of neutral on this, but I sense that a general like from the NSL community, just based on our Twitter notifications, with Samaras not really celebrating after his goal. I thought that was good. It's nice to see that, like, I feel like maybe I just see more of this because I'm on the Twitter account. I feel like we see a lot of flack and, like, there's a lot of soapboxes that are stood on and the yellings are coming at us. So it was nice that people were giving like Samaras positive acclaim, and like you could roll that up to like, oh, Rio OKC is a class organization, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I think I agree, and you'll hear later in the presser with Samaras, we asked him that question. I think there was a little bit lost in translation. I probably could have phrased the question better.
Should have learned Greek,
but I think in general his answer supports what we were saying. He basically came out and said, I wasn't intentionally not celebrating, but I have the utmost respect for the Cosmos organization, and I appreciate everything they did for me. and so I think you can connect the dots there. And yeah.
Well, since it's our 21st, and we have our like chaperones, like you have like your friends who stay sober and take care of you on your 21st birthday.
Oh, did you get one of those?
Let's throw some likes and dislikes out from the crowd. So yeah, way in the back. Way in the back. What was your like and your dislike from the week? We got a really full room here to hear us record.
The like was we haven't lost a game
Since
in a
the
while.
last time we played the Cosmos.
We are 6 straight undefeated. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Longest unbeaten streak in the NASL right now.
we're
Who
heating
would've
up.
thunk it?
We're heating up.
We are heating
Heating
up.
up.
We are heating
I
up.
love it.
Just any dislikes? Again, guy in the back. Yeah, guy on the way back.
I don't know. I can't think of one right now. Right now,
Yeah.
we're kind of on a positive.
Rising tide
Dis-
lifts all boats, right?
Dislike is that we gave up the tying goal in stoppage time to Edmonton. That just felt like a loss. Even still feels like a loss.
Oh, sure.
That
was a long time ago.
That sucked. Yeah, it did. But that's my only dislike right now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Other
oh
guy,
yeah, there's a woman. Is that a woman way in the back? Can you speak up, ma'am?
Yeah, so my likes are, we seem to be playing more like a team. We mesh better the past 2 or 3 games. So that's what I'm looking at.
I agree.
Just like they haven't played Ian.
Let him play Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From our-
Damn.
His family was at the game last night. Yes.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I
They
saw
were
that-
Ian
I saw that
Smontesson
tweet.
fans. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. I do like
You're a
Ian.
big Ian fan.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Ian,
Okay, and let's just do, since it's such a big room, one guy closer
One
to the
more,
front.
one more.
Yeah.
I like the picture that was on the Facebook last night of the team in their underwear in the locker room after the game.
Yeah.
That's pretty quality.
Yeah. We noticed that. I also saw that picture, and it seemed like.
Some sort of strange Powerade bottle-like growth is on these guys.
No, there wasn't one last night.
wasn't last night.
That was the last game.
That
Okay.
was the
Sebastian.
the Ottawa game. I think was when he posted that. So
Any dislikes?
I think I missed all the stuff we didn't like.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, that's a good thing. Cool.
yeah, because you were late to the Puerto Rico game, so
Puerto
you
Rico, so that was brilliant. 'Cause
so you just can't.
people we win when I'm around.
Yeah. So you're not allowed to miss any more games.
I
That's
guarantee
it.
that.
All right. Well, hey everyone, thanks for coming. And if we didn't get to you, just send us an email or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit us up on Twitter.
Okay, so we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna drop in some post-game audio that we think is relevant from the last couple games, and we will do a little bit of tactical talk and break down the week that was. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
All right, we're back. Segment 2. This is going to be a long segment broken up by some musical interludes and post-game audio.
Instead of Barricade Arpeggio, you want to explain what that song was?
So that was Dragon Force's Fury of the Storm. Those of you who played the original Guitar Hero should remember that song. Incredibly difficult to play on Guitar Hero. Probably equally difficult to play
In real life.
in real life. But something new we're going to try out that I literally thought of before
Thematic drops.
on the way down here is, get some music in that means something about the team. So obviously, Ottawa Fury, Sunday, this last Sunday, feels like ages
It
ago.
feels such a long time ago.
What
Yeah.
happened? Well, what do you remember?
Well, we were in the cave of the Rotarians.
Yes, we were here.
The game started. I'm just going to walk you through what I remember.
Okay.
Okay, the game started at 11, which coincidentally was the same time that McNally's opened.
I do remember that.
So we came up here, we got the television in working order, and then immediately, like, the church brunch crowd started getting sat in this room,
Get church.
which was awkward.
Yeah.
For them, probably.
Get church, but not when
Yeah.
there's soccer hooligans.
Pro-church, but I was a little
Casting
miffed at our gracious hosts for not respecting our, like, reservation. But it doesn't matter, right? Here's what I remember.
They didn't actually mark down the reservation that was made. Which is why we were up here.
Okay,
Okay, understood.
It's some feedback. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember a lot just because it was such a long time ago, but we scored a goal in the 8th minute from a Michelle corner. And then
In your esteemed opinion, what would you, if you were the official scorer for the game, how would you have scored that goal?
probably is an Olympico.
Okay.
But I think I would be wrong.
I think when I go back and look at it now, and especially considering what some of the players who were on the field said, I think that was Robbie's goal.
Sure. I'm cool with that.
But I don't think there was any way that was an own goal.
I agree.
Because I think the ball maybe it was not completely in the net whenever it bounced off the keeper's butt to go in all the way, but it was going in. I mean,
Yeah.
I would consider that a deflection less than an unintentional knock into the net.
Well, as it turns out, according to the OptiJack package that we got last night, we score most of our goals, or have so far, in the first 15 minutes. So anyway, we scored a goal pretty early, and then pretty much all I remember is we just kind of held on for dear life to try to defend and grit out the 1-0 victory, which disappointed me. I remember being disappointed about that because I thought we were clearly better than Ottawa, but in hindsight, we got 3 points, and like it was a road trip, and we didn't watch the game in person. We didn't talk to the coach afterwards, so it worked. Things worked out.
Yeah, I agree. Typical. It seemed to be a copy paste of our other road trips so far this season.
Yeah.
Score a goal early, sit back, counter if you can, take the ball to the corner flag, which we saw more of now.
Yep.
And close out the game and get your 3 points on the road and come home. Doesn't have to be pretty on the road, especially.
I'll take it.
So, anything else? Anything else from the peanut gallery about the Ottawa game?
Guy in the back.
I believe that it was Michelle's goal. For watching the highlight, it went through everybody. It's Michelle's goal.
Okay.
There's a not okay. Yeah. There's a guy up close. Yeah, sir. Do you want to chime in? He didn't watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Totally understandable.
can take your Ryo Kinsey shirt off right now. Right now. Just leave it here.
Yeah.
Just leave shirt off.
Yeah, say it's a big diverse crowd, and pick somebody. You can't guarantee that they.
That's right. Yeah.
That's all right.
I mean, people have lives.
Okay, well, we're gonna take a quick break. Not a quick break. We're gonna drop in another thematic segue.
So we've got, just to warn everybody, I couldn't think of any good Puerto Rico songs, so I literally Googled Puerto Rican music.
I know what you're thinking. Pitbull is from Miami.
Pitbull is from Miami, so when we play Miami FC, you'll get copious amounts of Pitbull. But this gentleman, I've already forgotten his name, but he is a Puerto Rican rapper. So enjoy you some of him. And
Enough said.
Yeah.
All right.
Oye, los tiempos cambiaron. Las cosas no son iguales.
Carbon Fiber Music
Ya nadie corre por la de nadie.
los
Aquí te
menores.
presento a los menores.
Salgo a la calle siempre con dos peines largos.
All right. Who was that? What was that young man's name?
Salgo.
Salgo?
Featuring Ozzy, Kelmet, Genio, and Arsenjo.
All right, so go check him out.
Esteemed rappers all.
Google him up.
Puerto Rico. We played them this past Wednesday, so that was our second game in 4 days, right? Am I doing the math right there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
At home,
Yep.
Puerto Rico FC's second game and first trip to Oklahoma.
Indeed.
I was a little disappointed that Carmelo didn't make the trip.
Well, yeah, the ESPYs.
This is the SB.
Ah.
We're just being told from an observer in the way back of the room that he was at the ESPYs. So I guess his
I am
priorities
100% confident that had the ESPYs not been... The ESPYs were the only thing that would have kept Carmelo Anthony from coming to Oklahoma to watch his invested Puerto Rico FC play.
Yeah. Well, I unfortunately was traveling and had to watch the game on, let's just call it a stream of a stream, and was able to get clear audio. And it was, actually, as an aside, it was great to hear Todd Lisenby and Mark Rogers do their thing, because usually I don't.
Yeah.
But really was able to not really watch the game in it was very choppy for me to watch. So it was hard for me to say what was going on.
Okay.
But you were there.
I was there.
Talk us through it.
Sandoval made an immediate impact. So I pulled up my match notes here, which are not near as good as yours are when you normally do them. But he started, obviously, like we said. He was involved early, and it almost seemed like, I remember this game, there were quite a few long balls being played. Both over the top, through the middle to Devin and Robbie, but also diagonal long balls to Sebastian on the right wing, who would receive the ball at kind of the corner of the 18, and then test his defender and see if he could either beat his defender and have a shot, or if he closed them in, he would try to make a move and play a cross in. So obviously went down 2-0 early on. The effort wasn't very good, in my opinion, from Rayo OKC, but they turned it around late. So.
One thing that we noticed that was different is the role that Michel played. So he's a pretty versatile guy, and if I'm not mistaken, he originally started off for the team playing left back.
I think the first game, he played left back.
So, but then he's moved around a lot and spent a lot of time lately playing central midfield. But against Puerto Rico, he was playing in the left back, which surprised me, given how well Jared Von Schaik has been playing.
And it did not work well for Rayo OKC. I mean,
and that's no disrespect to Michel.
Right. He's not a natural left back. He needs to be creating in the midfield, and he got caught up too much, I think.
Yeah.
So even before their first goal, there were quite a few times where I was saying, Michel's getting beat. And then their first goal came from a diagonal over the top ball that Michel let his guy get in behind, and it was off a counter. So they just played a ball on the ground across the front, and his name is Hector Ramos, but I think they call him Pito Ramos.
Okay,
that was his second goal in as many games or something like that. I mean, he's one of their better players. So.
I was very, as much as I could be, very impressed with Puerto Rico. I mean, they were pretty much getting after Rayo.
Yeah, I mean, my notes for the upcoming games say that I don't think they've won yet. I think they have 2 losses and a draw, but they're not terrible. It's not like they're getting out there and getting torched. They obviously they started training together about the time that the spring season kicked off. So even though this is their 3rd game or 4th game now when we go down to play them in Puerto Rico, they're not incredible. They're not that fresh with each other. They're still fresh, but not that bad. So the second goal, you got to see that, right?
That was pretty rough, man. I mean, I'm a noted Boateng fan, and unfortunately, he just had one of those 1 in 1,000 mistakes where he gets played the ball, he's in the box. It's a movement where it looks like we're going to try to pass our way out of the back, and he either misjudges it or he loses his balance or gets caught off guard. Loses the ball. It's an immediate turnover off would be like approximately like the 9-yard line, right, as opposed to like the 6-yard line, and it's a goal, right? I mean, no one's in a position to get back and defend because we're all starting to move forward, and it happens. It's unfortunate, but it is. We've talked about this a little bit. Derek Boateng has not been as sharp as we would have liked the last couple matches, and for me, that was kind of like the culmination of kind of what you were talking about with like the team not being really all there.
Yeah, it was interesting to see, and when I go back and look at the replay, in my mind, I guess I remembered it as we had the ball and Derek got it passed to him, but I think what actually happened was we dispossessed Puerto Rico, and then it wasn't an intentional pass to Derek. It was like somebody stepped and off the tackle, the ball fell to his feet.
Got it.
So, but a poor touch nonetheless, and he was kind of the last man at that point, and it rolls out and they score. So 2-0, and then in about the.
And let's just talk about this for a second, because that was, what minute was that in, by the way? Do you know?
That was in the 55th minute.
So 55th minute. At this point, you and I are texting, and we're feeling pretty down and thinking like, this is kind of like classic Rayo, and like we don't have a plan B tactically, and it's like we had a plan, didn't work, so now we're like we're rattled and we're scrambling and like
shades of the end of the U.S. Open Cup match with the energy where our plan A didn't work, so now it's just scramble.
Yeah. So I was feeling pretty down about the whole thing.
But then a surprising thing happened.
Go on.
Samara subs on for Derek Boateng in the 67th minute.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So when that happened, did that necessitate because we've been playing a lot of 4-4-2 lately, was there a change in formation?
No. Whoever was playing on the left moved to a central midfielder role, and Samaras actually moved to play the left mid, left wing.
But anyway, so Samaras came on.
So he comes on
70th minute or so.
Yeah, 67th minute. And then just 2 minutes later, he had a ball roll out to his feet at the top of the box, and it was a rip. I mean, from that point on, the pressure was all on Puerto Rico FC. I mean, the tables totally turned. And then in the 82nd, 83rd minute, Michel, with his right foot, actually puts a diagonal cross into the box. Sandoval gets a head on it to Robbie's feet, who finds Sebastian, who can basically just walk it in.
Excellent. Love that.
And then in the 90th minute, I think it was Billy Forbes Billy Forbes gets taken down for a penalty.
So on my stream of a stream, very hard to say what happened, but clear penalty?
It's tough to see from where I was. They were by themselves. Billy had possession, and the guy kind of came in with a reckless tackle. The Puerto Rico defender came in with what I call a reckless tackle, and I think by the definition of the game, it was a foul, and unfortunately for him, it was inside the 18-yard box.
Now, I'm sorry I'm jumping around, because again, I've slept, and there's just like 3 games in a week, but there was another play in this game where I believe it was Pekka, got brought down in the box, but was carded for simulation. Was this before or after?
45th minute.
Okay. Now, I thought that was a good call.
Yes.
For a simulation on Pekka.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway.
Yes. And then an interesting note that you'll hear when we play the post-game audio in just a second. Pekka was late coming back to the field to start the second half.
Yes.
And everybody was kind of wondering what the heck's going on. Alan's down on the field talking to the referee, pointing to his eye, and I'm thinking he's lost a contact or something, and he's putting the contact in. So eventually,
got his eye poked out or something.
They make a sub anyways, and
Well, they had to. They had to make a sub.
Minjabar came on for Pekka, and the choice for Alan was either make a substitution or start the second half with 10 men. Well, Pekka comes on literally 30 seconds after they make the sub, right when they start the second half, and he's pissed, rightly so. What happened was he actually got a cut above his eye, so he was getting stitches, and they didn't know how long it was going to take. So, anyways, Michel converts the penalty, and they played actually about 6 minutes of stoppage time, and there were some really good chances. I mean, before the Michel penalty, Sandoval had a one-on-one with the keeper, but shot it right at him. Forbes had a run, a great individual run, and was way out in front. But I think he took an extra touch, and the Puerto Rico FC keeper came out and slid in and made the save. And then one of the last plays of the game, a volley found its way to Samaras' feet, and he had a kind of a scissor strike from about 20 yards out. That was another rip.
No, I remember, and that just went a little over the crossbar, right?
Yeah,
I remember watching.
That was a great
I remember
shot.
watching that.
So, 6 inches, 8 inches lower, and that's going off the underside of the crossbar and in.
So we go down 2-0, and we come back and pull out the draw. But it does almost feel like a game that we should have clearly won, right? Both of our goals conceded came on mistakes. A lot of easy chances we didn't put away. I mean, am I reading too far into that? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy with the draw.
No, I think I agree, and you'll hear in the postgame audio that Alan said he thought there were chances in the first half that he should have put away.
Yeah.
It's a game that very happy to get a point after everything that happened, but could have easily been 3 points. Don't think we dropped any points there. That's not the way I would phrase it, but.
Yeah,
certainly good.
Well, this episode's getting long as it is, so let's put a pin in this. We will play some New York themed music and talk about the Cosmos game, which is more fresh. We'll have much more detail, so that's coming up next. Or, I guess before that, we'll play Puerto Rico postgame.
Yeah, let's do Puerto Rico postgame and see if there's anything we want to comment on after that before we move on to New York. I wrote this question down about the 75th minute, and I think your answer probably changed between then and now. But were you happy with the effort that the team produced tonight?
100%. I don't think there was ever a question of lack of effort ever in any game. Our guys have fought like warriors every single game, win or lose. This is something no one can take away because that shows a lot of character, a lot of pride in their profession, their obligation to the fans. And that, no one, like I said, can take that away regardless of where we are in the standings. Our guys every night I've left it on that pitch.
You feel like there was an infusion of energy brought to the field, brought to the team whenever Giorgio came to the game?
Yeah. Sammy did. I think all our subs, all the subs that went in changed the game for us. Brought a little bit more life. I'm upset about how we gave the 2 goals away. There were 2 individual errors. I said at halftime, we discussed, and my center backs, who are fantastic, amongst the best in the league, I strongly believe that. We went over. Ramos likes to make those runs in the box between his 2 center backs, and all it is a little bit of communication, a little bit of awareness. You prevent that. I understand the game. I'm a perfectionist. I want to eliminate everything, but I'm a little upset because when you go over it that many times, you expect to be a little more alert. And then the second goal we gave away, it was a bad error. We just can't have that. But on the flip side, these guys showed heart and character. All right, and as a coach, that's what you want, and that's what you expect, and that's what winners are made out of. I could have easily put your head down 2-0 in your own house. They didn't. They fought harder. And for that, I'm proud of them for tonight.
Pekka at the half, what we couldn't really tell from the press box.
He had a cut on his just above his eye. We were told getting stitches. We were unaware. They said game's starting now. I didn't want to start the game with the man down. And sure enough, about a minute into the half, he starts running on the field. And so Pekka would have stayed on the field, but when you're hearing guys getting stitches, we don't know how long it's going to be. You can't take that sort of gamble. And then I would, set up the team for failure, man down the half. And I didn't want to do that.
Seemed like you had a lot of opportunities throughout the game,
Yes.
going into the last 10 minutes of regulation to put the ball in the back of the net. And finally, Sebastian got one to go.
Yeah.
Did you kind of feel like there was almost a sigh of, a sense of, or a sigh of relief when that ball went in, and then it kind of gave the guys another comfort level?
We spoke at halftime. These guys believed. Well, we know the quality. You guys heard me say it many times, is that we've got to be clinical, because in the first half we had a couple sitters too. And you've got to take those chances, because Puerto Rico are very disciplined defensively. And we told before the game, it could be a game maybe a little bit frustrating. They're organized, they sit back. You may not get a ton of chances, and when you get clear-cut ones, you've got to bury them. Obviously, Sebastian stepped up. That's what he's brought here to do, is to score and create. Got a big goal for us. I think that half was 100% for us. Yes, the goal was even more to push, but they pushed from the opening whistle the second half, and again, I'm proud of them for that.
We'll get to Sebastian in a second, but fresh face, Devin Sandoval got the start tonight. Just in your experience as a coach, how do you determine whether a player as new as he is ready to play in such a short time frame from being here with the team? Yeah,
we've done our homework on all players, how we bring in, we believe in. Sandoval gives us a big boy presence up front that we haven't had. And Sandoval, I think, probably should have had 2 goals today. You have to look at the positives. When you put yourself in those positions, a natural striker, he will score. The ball will fall for him. And we started to become a little predictable with only Finley. People knew, hey, Finley. So we needed a couple other options, and Sandoval fits the bill. And like I said, I expect big things from him. I know he expects big things of himself, and I think he did a great job. Again, a little bit unfortunate. I think he should have had a couple goals. He probably would agree. But at the same time, he put himself in positions, and if he continues to do that, he will be rewarded.
He had a great header that he knocked right down for you to set up your goal. So, first goal as a member of Rayo OKC, how do you feel about it?
No, it feels great. I mean, for me, it's just more important was to get the team rolling. I mean, we're put on the field to do a job, to stick to a plan that coach sets up for us during the week, and it would have been easy to put our heads down and let that 2-0 game affect us, and then just lose 3 points just like that. But I think these games and these situations are going to come back and show us in playoffs, when moments like these happen, to be a championship team. And this is what this organization wants. This is what we want. We want as players and as a coaching staff. And I think today we show the character that's on the field.
Sebastian, I mean, this is Puerto Rico's third game, third match of their entire existence. But this didn't feel like a team that's only played 3 games together. Was that fair to say?
We knew they were going to work hard, and we knew that they were going to come out and give us a match. I think Coach already touched on it. There's poor decisions that we make, and we're very, very critical on the mistakes we make, and we're very critical on what we can do to fix that. There are little holes that we can easily fill, and I think today showed on the field that we can't make these type of mistakes. But at the same time, I'm not going to take away from the hard work the boys put back in to tie that 2-2.
Yep.
5 unbeaten now for you guys.
Yep.
I guess for both of you, but Sebastian, mainly for you, being a core member of the team, you feel like the team's kind of turned a corner. You guys are all playing together now. You know, we talked, Alan, throughout the spring season about gelling, and I think from our standpoint, we kind of see that. Do you feel the same way? You guys are playing together a lot more?
For sure. I think you guys got to realize we've only been together for a couple months, and as you can see now, we have new faces on the field like Sandoval, and it's not easy to bring a whole bunch of different guys that played all over the world and then be like, okay, now you're going to be a championship team. But to see the turning point in half the season, and to see what we're doing now, it's very great things are about to happen for us. And I believe if we stay in the same place and keep working in and focus on the same things that we want, and we show that we want to work harder than any other team, it's going to be very difficult to beat us. And I don't say that just to be in cocky no type of way. Just we're a very hard-working team, and I think we showed it today.
Question for both of y'all. I know you just finished one match, but now we got New York coming in here on Saturday night. What can you expect from them? What do you expect from the atmosphere with the team like the Cosmos, their tradition, their history coming into a Miller Stadium?
We know they're a great team. We know the type of team they are. We know they have ex-MLS players. We know they have star players also. But at the same time, they're coming to our temple, and we protect our temple. It doesn't matter what team comes in. This organization is built around great players, hardworking players, and a passionate coach. And I'll tell you one thing, by the time we step on the field, we're going to be ready to play them.
Yeah, I mean, Cosmos obviously have won it 2 out of the 3 years. No slouch. You know, they're one of the best organizations, one of the best teams in the league. You know, at the same time, though, we believe in what we bring to the table as well. You know, we felt we were, got the short end of the stick away. I think with 9 men, I think we should have got a point out of that game. You know, and I would argue in the first half we clearly could have been up 1-0. So our guys are confident. We know it's going to be a war. It's going to be a battle. I know my guys will be ready. And it's going to be an exciting game. It's 2 great teams going to go at it.
I'm good.
Good.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Start spreading the news.
All right, welcome back. We just heard from Alan Marcina and Sebastian Velasquez after the Puerto Rico FC game. And then you heard about 5 seconds or less of the smooth pipes of Frank Sinatra's New York, New York.
I believe Frank Sinatra is originally from Oklahoma City.
Isn't there a statue of him down in Norman?
Isn't there a statue of Frank Sinatra?
No, that's James Garner, sorry.
I thought the Sinatra statue was by the AAA baseball stadium.
Mickey Mantle?
I think that's Frank Sinatra.
Okay, real quickly, before we get to the truly hated New York Cosmos, anything you want to pile on the Puerto Rico FC? Since that was the first time you heard the questions that I asked.
Yeah, I mean, they were mostly good questions. And the one thing I'll say I really liked in Marcina was like when you asked about the effort, and he said, I love the effort, 100%. There's never a question of effort.
Yeah.
So
yep.
That's the only thing I have to say.
Okay.
So yeah, okay, moving ahead to now the last game. So 3 games, 7 days. We played the Cosmos last night. And I guess last night the NASL flagged this game as like the marquee game. And so they had a more thorough stats package for us to go through, which was pretty great. And so it told us a few things. And actually, it was strangely prophetic. Right, like it set up the game so well.
I've got a copy of it right here. Actually.
So coming into last night, we knew a few things based on the stats. And the first is that old Leadfoot himself, Michel, is absolutely vital to Rayo OKC. So Michelle's third overall before last night, third overall in goals for the NASL in 2016. Not only that, he shoulders a lot of the creative burden. He's one of 3 players to have created more than 10 chances, and that's on the team, I believe. Defensively, he's one of 35 players in the league to have won 50 defensive duels. Second, of course, to only Derek Boateng, who's way ahead. We also know that we create more chances as a team when Robbie Finley's on the field, which speaks a lot in my mind to Robbie Finley as a player. But so that's on the one end, you know that like the game is going to flow through Michelle, right? And so right off the bat, Michelle not being a left back, good to see, right? Well, we also knew going into last night that the Cosmos far and away lead the league in possession, and B, shots on target. So it's not just like useless possession. They score a lot, and they scored a lot of their goals, statistically speaking, between the 31st and the 45th minute in the first half, which is a time that, in my opinion, Rayo OKC typically like kind of falls asleep or checks out. Yep. So I just kind of like, well, we've got a team that possesses the ball, and we've got a team that tries to sit back and counterattack. So that was for me kind of what set things up. Any observations from you on the front end before the game?
I had a good feeling about the game.
I told you before the game, I think we're going to win.
Yeah, you told me I think we're going to win, and I said I think we're going to see a Sammer's goal.
Yeah,
and I plagiarized that from a sock monkey who has a Twitter account who said I'm feeling a Sammer's goal, but considering the fact that he's a sock monkey and not a real person, I think I can take that as my own creative.
It's allowed.
Yeah.
So a couple other things in my pre-match notes is that Boateng was on the bench. That made sense. A couple shaky performances, including versus Puerto Rico. And then so I've said before, I trust Marcina and I think he's a great coach. But if you wanted to like maybe ask questions about it, you could. And so I noticed the statistic that is for as much as Marcina has talked about priding himself on defense, right? His all-time goal differential as a manager is only +7, and it's 108 to 101. So I was a little surprised by that, but again, that's not like a veiled criticism or anything.
Yeah. I think in general, just to add something about Coach Marcina, I'm about one more game like this away from just saying I'm
on the bandwagon. Yeah.
Because you will hear him say in the post-game press conference that we'll play here in a minute, we had a plan, we stuck to the plan, and the Cosmos fell right into our trap.
He did. And I agree. And I'm going from texting you on Wednesday night in like the 50th minute or whatever, we're tactically inflexible, we have one plan, and a total 180 from last night where we executed a plan to perfection, and it comes across Marcina looks like a genius. So we came out in 4-4-2 to be expected. Cosmos came out in 4-4-1. So as expected, the Cosmos possessed a lot of the ball. I think at one point it was like 78-20.
Yeah,
so 70-30 in possession.
They were dominating the game, and so we've kind of gotten. One thing that I thought of is we've gotten such a. We really like the stats, right?
Yes.
The term I was going to use is probably not family friendly, right?
Yeah.
We've got an HARDON for the stat package now.
Yeah.
But so we use the term dominate the game whenever one team outpasses the other. Like for instance, the Cosmos outpassed Rayo OKC 533 to 237.
Wow.
But I think maybe we're at least at this level, and with what the team is trying to do, maybe we're lending too much credence to that.
Well, I think it was like almost in some senses there is a feedback loop happening, right? So we know that it's probably safe to say that Rayo OKC likes optimally to sit compact, play defense, and try to spring on the counter. Well, we also know that the Cosmos possess the ball and play a lot in the opponent's half. And so and we talked about this, right? So Cosmos 4-1-4-1, well, that turned into a 2-4-4 anytime that they had the ball, right? And they would just sit in our half, and they'd have basically 8 players in our half with the 2 wingbacks pushing up. So it did a couple of things. It put a lot of pressure on the defending team, Rio, to get it all out of their half. Because as soon as we would win the ball, you'd have 8 players to get past. And secondly, so then it kind of forced us to play a lot of long balls to get out, and then they would go back to the 2 center backs, and we would kind of start it all over again. So on the one hand, I think if we had, I just think that in this case for the game, tactically speaking, there was a feedback loop. I think the Cosmos would have always ended up ahead on possession and passes, but I think the way that Rio set up enabled that even more, right?
Yeah.
So one thing that I liked that the Cosmos were doing is that the forwards, they would kind of cycle in. They would, you've got your 2 and your 4 and your 4. And so then if you can think about what Rio would do is they would have their 4 defenders who were man marking the 4 forward most attacking players, so the 2 forwards and the 2 outside mids. And you had our 4 midfielders playing, marking the 2 center mids and the 2 outside wingbacks. What the forwards would do for the Cosmos is drop in to the half space in between the mid and the attacking line. And you have to make, and it's a simple but instantaneous decision that the defender has to make. And you make it enough times that the one time you get it wrong, it leads for a chance to a goal. And so you have the forwards who's sitting in between the lines, and it creates potentially space for another runner to go behind, and it gives the guy, the midfielder with the ball, some different options depending on what the defender does. So I thought that was really interesting.
Are you going to do a film breakdown of this for us?
I would like to. I would like to. I felt like
blog.
I felt like I was in sync.
It'd be a good time now to have the touch screen where you can draw the stuff on. This player's gonna go here. He's gonna go inside and outside and inside and outside.
But like I said, I mean, I was thinking this, and I honestly set Marcin up for me to perceive him like a genius, because I wrote down we seem to be settling for a lot of long balls out of the back early, which is probably what they want, right? And so it looked like at face value that the Cosmos were dictating the game, controlling the game. We were playing into their hands. And then as the game went on, and we started getting our breakaways to work, the narrative totally changed, right?
Yep.
So there was, even as early as the 20th minute, there was a great breakaway where Sebastian Velasquez made one of his kind of ranging runs down the midfield. He cuts it in, finds Robbie, who plays it back in. Finds Billy Forbes, plays back into Sandoval, who should have finished it and just put it wide, which is kind of like a recurring theme with him. 33rd minute, another breakaway. Robbie Finley almost chipped the keeper, but it ended up being a great save, and that was a great ball from Forbes. And it was if you had to package up Rio OKC in a nutshell, that was that play. I'm just going back through my notes. Michel had a big impact on the game just outside of his 2 goals. So his free kicks and his corners, with the exception of when he plays his corners from the right, because it's in-swinging balls versus out-swinging balls, had a big impact. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of reading my notes here, but
I mean, okay, so
I'll just say
let's jump to the second half.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the late game heroics. The penalty. I think I saw the This Is Cosmos Country guys say, clear pin. He got brought down. I think Footy was the one who actually got brought down. And Footy and Sandoval both went down.
And it was another great free kick from Michel, and when he was playing the ball in, Footy got brought down. Right. So Footy, and it was a well placed ball. Footy would have been in a position to score, but he gets brought down, so it's the penalty.
So Michel converts,
puts it in the upper 90, top right.
Just a beautiful penalty.
Great penalty, yeah.
Then
coordinated goal celebration dance.
Yes, and we asked about that. So you'll hear Michel himself talk about that. Then later in the game.
Well, I mean, so immediately after that goal, what do you expect, right? Do you expect the Cosmos to turn up the pressure?
Absolutely.
And they did. So between, say, the 50th minute and the 65th minute, the Cosmos were much more aggressive from an attacking standpoint. I don't think there was ever a really serious opportunity from them, and they had some just absolute howlers.
I mean, they were shooting from pretty far out. I feel like the defense was pretty solid. They didn't have any real 1-2 man on goal, it was always we were allowing them a little bit of space, which is kind of scary. Which was scary at times, thinking about I had PTSD to the Edmonton game.
Right.
But I think that was what Allen wanted. Sit back, be compact. If they want to shoot from 30 yards out, let them shoot from 30 yards out and take your chances.
Yeah. Well, and that plays into Rayo's game plan. We got a breakaway in the 65th minute. We win a free kick. Michel
won the free kick too, by the way.
Yeah.
So he goes to cross the guy over. He leaves his feet hanging out there, earns a free kick, and then.
Yep. I mean, a beautiful free kick, man. My note is Michel in the 65th minute with a beautiful free kick. Wow, 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 wow. That's what I wrote down. So, yeah, I mean, it was awesome. And really after that, Rayo was in total control. So I loved, we talked about this, so Sandoval dropped more into like a center attacking mid-roll, so he playing a little more defensively, playing a little more deep, which I love that for his kind of player type. We made some subs, 71st minute, Minjavar came on for Forbes, which I really like that as well. Obviously Billy Forbes is a great counterattacking threat, but Minjavar is a really good player in possession. So I like that move. In the 81st minute, Derek Boateng came on for Robbie Finley. So like Minjavar for Forbes is a like for like. Boateng for Finley is obviously offense for defense. And by the way, hats off to Robbie Finley. Thought I played a great game. Their potential, I need to go watch him, but potentially there were some times that he either mistimed or timed so well that the AR got it wrong, and he had a couple of chances for goals that.
And there was that one chance where he just whiffed on it right after he came off injured.
That's right.
Where he was wide open, great cross in on the floor, and should have placed it, and.
So anyway, I still think Robbie Finley played a great game and is a really impactful player for us. So 81st minute.
Let's talk about the Samurus goal real quick
Well, to set it up, so Boateng comes on because Boateng was involved in the Samurus goal. Potentially a controversial play where Samurus maybe deserved a card of some kind. I don't know. I didn't really see that closely. I have no idea. It doesn't matter. But Samurus comes on, and I want to say like the 82nd or 83rd or 84th minute. And I mean, if you had to describe a Rayo goal, like you could probably figure it out. We won the ball.
86 minutes.
So Boateng wins the ball in R18, and he dribbles it to about the halfway line. His movement is taking it towards the near side or towards the benches, and the Cosmos kind of like collapse around him. And Samurus is wide open on the left, and there are other players who are open on the left. And so Boateng looks up and plays a beauty of a cross across the field to Samurus. And basically at that point, Samurus has like one man or two men to beat, and he has a decision to make, right? It's either go to the field, go to the corner, go for goal. So it looks like to me he's going for the corner, and then he just by the way, I love watching Samurus run. He just kind of glides. But Samurus ends up heading to the corner. Something changed, and he cuts it in. Couple more movements, and then he just places this beautiful ball into the upper 90.
He had his back to the goal when the ball hit the net. I mean, he knew when it left his foot, it was going. Because I saw him strike it, and then looked back, and he was already running like towards the bench.
Yep, it was amazing. I think if you're listening, if you've watched Rayo play or just like or taking the Cliffs, one thing that you might just say is like we're a team that just like counters and like gets lucky off of counters. But last night I thought was a really pretty complete game where we weren't just like getting lucky on counters.
Well, I think the last two games, if you look at them and the difference in play, in style of play, if you say we just sit back and try to counter, I don't think that's true.
I agree.
You could say we sit back and counter, but we have a method to that counter.
It's not just hoof it forward.
The Cosmos played. Where did I have it? They had 33 crosses and we had 8 this game.
Yeah.
But in the Puerto Rico game, I guarantee, and I'm pulled up right now, I guarantee you had more crosses because we were playing those diagonal balls into Sebastian consistently. They saw something on the film that said we are going to play from the wings against Puerto Rico, and we are going to play through the middle. And also, one other thing was, when was the last time Rayo gave up a set piece goal?
I don't know.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
And for a while there, it was like every game. Well,
Yeah.
the Cosmos had 8 corners. 8. And I don't remember any of them being very dangerous. So whatever we've done with, we talked about the theme of the back four changing, or at least,
On the left
Kosuke's
side.
been the one constant. Seems like it's worked.
Yeah, I'm in favor of it.
Here's my question now. Did Rio get enough momentum with Michelle's penalty kick and that goal there to win the game? If we hadn't gotten the foul in the box, would that game have looked like? How much differently would that game have looked at the end? Would it have been a loss for Rio, a 0-0 tie because the Cosmos couldn't seem to find anything on goal last night?
I think it's a great question. The goal definitely changed the game because it forced the Cosmos to attack more. And so what we saw in the first half was the Cosmos being pretty compact, but in our half, in possession and on the attack. After we scored that goal, they were forced to really try to press even more. And so that made them that much more susceptible to our Rio's counterattacking ways. And Marcinus says this in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously, the goal changed everything, right? But like they just even that much more put it into our hands. After we scored, they had to start pressing more to try to get an equalizer.
So we get the Cosmos on Saturday, August 6th. So that's 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
In New York.
But next, well, is there anything else you want to add about the Cosmos game?
No.
Yeah. So we'll play them again in 3 weeks, the rubber match for the season.
Indeed.
But before that, we get to play hated rival Puerto Rico FC again. So
do we have more Salgo to bring up?
We will.
Yes.
We will. So play them again. So we're going to do a quick preview segment on Puerto Rico. Probably will be our best one since we just saw them play a week ago.
We're fresh.
So if you're still listening, thank you. Stay with us. We will be right back to recap the Puerto Rico game.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started, and I'll go down and
Sam, we've only got a couple of quick questions for you, so then we'll let you get out of here. Obviously, you ready, Cam? Okay. Obviously, your first goal in the NSL tonight. So, just how do you feel about it?
It's a goal, For me, it's not really important or not important. I think in the end, we're looking the good performance for all the boys. 3 points, and when you're winning 3-0 Cosmos, the champions of last year, that means that we're in a good path. We are undefeated for 6 games, I think now.
Yep.
Things going well for us, but we need to keep working hard and improve our game and improve our talent and abilities and everything, so we can be more competitive in the league, because I think we'll have a good team. So we're looking forward. It's just a win, it's just a goal. Nothing to over-excite things. We need to keep low profile, both feet on the ground, and keep the hard work.
For yourself, are you as far as kind of where you want to be with your development? And
I'm fit. I'm feeling very good with myself. Very good with my body. I'm working every day in trainings, and just waiting the decision when the coach will put me in the pitch or not. I'm trying to be as much as a professional I can be. Try to be the right example for my teammates, like a veteran. Create problems, and just waiting. To start playing 90 minutes.
So, speaking of being a professional, I don't know if we were right or not, but it seemed like you were kind of asking everybody to chill out a little bit with their celebration after your goal tonight. Is that right? And if so, do you mind explaining that?
The celebration?
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I did, so.
Okay. No problem.
I don't remember.
Oh, good. It seemed like you were just kind of waving everyone away.
We didn't know if, since you have some history with the Cosmos organization.
No, it's not nothing. No. Just don't be any misunderstanding here. It's nothing to do with Cosmos. I'm very grateful what they did for me. The three months I was there for my rehab in the HSS hospital in New York. There's no problem with New York Cosmos or with Gio or the players. They treat me the best, and I fully respect these 3 months that they take care of me without half contract or without, I was just a guest. And it's nothing to do with Cosmos. I fully respect all of them, and it's nothing to do with that. I don't even remember what I did. I don't even remember what I did in a...
We definitely overanalyzed.
Yeah, okay?
No problem.
Thanks,
All right, thanks, Georgia.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I think we're getting out of needing the same clothes. I think that's a good thing.
No, we got to keep wearing it.
Okay. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Happy birthday to your daughter, I guess.
Thank you, yes.
Would you say that this was the most complete game that you guys have played yet today?
100%. Cosmos is the best team in the league. They've won the championship 2 out of the 3 years, finished first place in the spring. Yes, Indy claimed the championship title, but in my eyes, we all have opinions. Cosmos is the best team, and we dominated tonight. The first half we should have had a couple goals. We had a couple clear-cut chances. We should have buried them with the quality we had going forward. And then to get 3 goals in the second half, and if you look at their opportunities, weren't something that necessarily stressed Danny. Their keeper made 2 big saves in the first half. Danny didn't make these kind of saves. It was routine stuff for a goalkeeper like him. So the guys executed a game plan. We knew Cosmos, if we start chasing them, they could have ripped us apart. And we stayed very, very compact, very disciplined. We baited them. They fell into our trap. Sometimes, you utilize other teams' strengths as their weakness. Their overconfidence. We punished them for that.
So going from a week, 3 games in 6 days, 7 days, and now you've got a full week before the next game.
Yeah.
I'm sure the approach won't change, or maybe you'll kind of scale things down a little bit, or?
Yeah, the guys are going to give a couple days off. 3 games in 6 days, including travel in there. That's tough on the bodies. But we still need to get better. Yes, this was arguably our best game this season, but we haven't won anything yet. We're still hungry. We still need to improve. All the players and coaching staff have the growth mindset that every day is an opportunity to grow and get better. And there's things we could do better tonight as well. Even though it was a solid performance, there's still things that we've got to work on.
So after, I guess it was the Edmonton game, the first game of the fall season, you told us that at halftime you had told the players, if you can in the game dribble to the corner, and we noticed a few instances of that tonight. And then it turned out that we got a 3rd goal in the end. So do you feel like you finally drilled that into their heads enough to finish the game?
They know they're good pros. It was one that maybe that situation had to happen so that for the remainder of the year, sometimes you have to go through these experiences. No one likes them, but ultimately they're for a reason. Guys now, they knew how to manage the game. There was no, any hesitation. They knew what they knew what they needed to do, and they did it tonight.
Just out of curiosity, it looks like Dario is sent off at the end.
Honestly, I don't even know.
Is this maybe a tactic of yours to
waste some time? No. I don't even know what happened. I look over, Dario. Where'd Dario go? I was talking to. We had some guy. One of our players was not seriously injured but hurt, and we didn't have any subs. So I was more trying to get through to him and stay. And like I said, I turned over. I didn't see Dario, so I have no idea what happened.
Okay. At Puerto Rico a week from tonight.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans for a beach workout or something like that? Or are you the kind of coach that it's a business trip? We're going to go down there.
It's straight business. Yeah. And those who know me, I'm a workaholic. I'm never satisfied. I'm a perfectionist, and I want to continue to get better so that we can put more W's, in our column, and hopefully this streak can continue.
Okay. We won't look for any topless pictures from any of the players like the Cabo pictures.
Yeah, I hope not. Man, Danny may wear a hat. He's known to pull these kind of things off. But other than that, we should be okay, hopefully.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's see here. All right, so obviously the last time you guys faced off against New York, in New York, we know how that game ended for you.
Yes.
in league play, since then, you guys are unbeaten. So it seems like you've really turned a corner. Do you think that the team has really come together since then and is playing together more noticeably since then?
I think so. No. So far, the best game for us this year. In terms of organization, of commitment of the players, and they play against the best team in the league is always one motivation extra. And we did today. We did all. Was perfect today. The organization, we stuck the plan. So it was don't give space for Cosmo and try to catch them on counterattacks, and we did today.
For yourself, was this, speaking about motivation, was this for yourself a game that you kind of had circled?
I think for every player, I mean, when you play against the best players in the league, if you don't have motivation to play against these players, you have to start to play soccer. So today was good.
So how much did you guys practice your goal celebration, your dance?
There was I thought Pekka before the kick that if we score, we're gonna do that tonight. So we did.
Nice,
we did.
Looked good. And you carried Sebastian a little bit there too?
Yeah, he comes together. And he always with us. He tried to get something. Next time, hopefully we celebrate his goal. Good. And you can dance a little bit cumbia or something like that.
Can you just talk about, very briefly, your approach to free kicks?
Yeah, if you go to the training facility, you can see every day I practice and I try to do my best. It's on quality, but I practice every day to do that. It's not. It's happening because I practice really hard.
Yeah. Cool. I don't have anything else.
If you could put in a good word to get us on the charter to Puerto Rico, that'd be awesome. Just saying. I mean, this is like my lucky shirt.
Yeah, sure. Hopefully, I can get 3 points over there. So it's very important for us. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Visionary. Como un loco, obsesionado, miro la foto que me has mandado. Me conoces y ya sabes lo que quiero hacer.
Yeah. All right. Segment 3, finally. It was an extended second segment. It's like the extended edition of Lord of the Rings trilogy. All right. Puerto Rico FC just played them at home, but this game will be away Saturday, July 23rd at 6:30 Central Time. To be determined on watch party.
Yes.
But there will be a watch party, so...
I think it's going to be a great game. As you note, they are currently winless, but definitely not a terrible team.
Yep.
I think playing them, relatively speaking, like in a back-to-back way will make things really interesting, especially we're going to come in probably with a lot of confidence. But it's an away game, so who knows what will happen.
Nice for the guys to... Well, I say that. I say it would be nice for the guys to go to Puerto Rico and have a couple of days in Puerto Rico, but as we heard in the Cosmos game, post-game presser, which was, by the way, Giorgio Samaras, Alan Marcina, and Michelle, we dropped in that post-game audio right before we came in on this.
Business trip.
Alan considers it a business trip. You know, we're not going to see any shirtless pictures of the guys on the beach like we saw in the interseason break. So... couple guys to watch for that I noticed at the Puerto Rico FC game on Wednesday. Hector Ramos is his name, and I think they call him Pito. He scored a few goals for Puerto Rico FC, so keep an eye out for him. He scored one against us. Also, a name which jumped out to me whenever I saw it in the starting 11 for them last night, Evans Frimpong, who actually started this season with Oklahoma City Energy FC, is now playing for Puerto Rico FC.
Duly noted.
So he was in the 11th last night, so we'll see if he plays against Rayo this coming Saturday.
Okay, well, we'll find out.
Do you have a prediction for the game?
I'll take Rayo 2-1.
I like that prediction. I am going to ride the 3-0 train. Let's go 3-0, Rayo.
Wow, bold. I like it. Okay, so stay with us. We will do a quick break and come back for your free talk segment. Stay with us.
Visionary.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117,
Bye.
tonight will be a little short.
Yeah.
Let me do mine first.
Okay, sure.
Because it's shorter.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Anthony if he's listening from
Long Island.
From Long Island, Anthony from Long Island. He came out. He flew all the way down from New York on Saturday just for the game. Came and tailgated with us for the game. Met Sean, the owner of the team, and was kind of like, I'm going to sit by myself. And the Rios Red Army was gracious enough to say, you know what, you're by yourself. We know you're an away fan, but you can stand with us. Then in true New York form, that did not keep him from spewing banter at players. In particular, Daniel Fernandez in goal. And Danny did not appreciate it. So I think Danny actually turned around and
gave it right back to him.
It gave it back to him, and then that led to a few of the luchadors of Rios Red Army giving some glances to Anthony. So that leads me to my real point, which was the Yukon Police Department, Yukon's finest. Two things for them. Number one, I don't think it's a law anywhere that says you must remove headwear for the national anthem.
It is not.
I think it's a requested etiquette. I think if you are in uniform and not under arms, then yes, you are supposed to remove your cover. Yeah, you can't go around telling people to take their hats off.
They were doing that?
Yes, they were going around telling people, take your hat off.
Really?
All season.
Yeah, it's all season. Yeah.
Take your hat off. Okay, no, I don't
In that
think I
tone?
will.
Oh, worse than that tone.
So,
That's actually polite compared to the tone they were using.
Really?
So the second thing that the Yukon Police Department did is when they asked Anthony to remove himself from the supporters group section for his own safety, apparently they told him, we can protect you from 2 or 3 guys, but not all of these guys. So if you don't want to be the 41st homicide in the city this year, we recommend you move. Which
oddly accurate statistic.
Oddly accurate. I did check with someone in the know, and yes, there are 40 homicides currently in Oklahoma City, with 3 at the medical examiner potential homicides.
Just
so
typical police Hondo, right? I mean, this is a stereotype that everyone likes to give to cops, right, for being hard asses.
What kind of message does that send if you're going to be? That's not being a hospitable guest.
Let's just say there's a lot going on in the world of police relations, and it's just not a very self-aware move to make a homicide joke.
Perhaps the Yukon Police Department should look to Oklahoma City at their police department and how they've handled the recent protests or gatherings and everything, and see that it is possible to do your job and still be a human being. So,
well, speaking of asking people to take their hats off for the national anthem, which is a whole sidebar debate on free speech, let's now turn to the portion of Free Talk where that I've been interested in, where news came out last night that Real Salt Lake revoked the press credentials of a Salt Lake Tribune columnist. And I actually don't have a hot take on this. I'm just interested in it as a discussion point because, on the one hand, it's a pretty bad look, right, for the club. But I know nothing about what the guy. I don't know very much about the guy. But I also know that, like, there's a fine line. Like, obviously, you want to promote access, you want to be transparent. But I also do understand, like, if you want to set limits around who comes in, and like, why would you let somebody who's so the club, like the chief business officer of the club statement was like, he framed it like the guy was like an enemy of the club, right? So that's different from being a member of the quote unquote objective press, which, by the way, I mean, well, that's a different conversation. but especially
what's objective press?
Well, I don't. If you read the Oklahoma City sports page, I don't know that you would know that.
There's no such thing as objective. The Journal Record's the closest thing you're going to get to objective press in Oklahoma City.
So I don't know. Like,
that's a hot sports opinion.
On the one hand, I appreciate a club protecting who comes in and who gets to tell the story. I think I respect that. On the other hand, the MLS has, and in the USL too, because we've talked about this, has such a either you're on the bandwagon or you're off. And in fact, there's like a direct quote from the commissioner of the MLS who's like, I insist everyone around our clubs align with the vision of the league. And so if you kind of trickle down from that, it's like, why did they ban this guy, right? But I don't know. It's just really interesting to me. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah,
it's really easy to hot take this and be like, free press, transparency.
I mean,
it's also easy to be like, this guy's an enemy, get him out.
Yeah, I think if you look at from the brief specifics of the situation that I've read, there is a legitimate argument that this reporter has a conflict of interest in covering the team.
Yes.
I don't think it's fair to say that they pulled his press credentials for no reason. I think there is some smoke there, right?
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
That being said, yes, it was probably not the smartest idea for MLS to do with all the scrutiny that they're under, or Real Salt Lake as being part of MLS, right? And not only that, but you and I are like fake journalists, so I don't really know that we have any frame of reference on the situation.
Let's just say that if we weren't professional amateur podcasters, this wouldn't even be on my radar as a story.
Right.
But I just happened it came across Twitter last night, and I'm interested in it. So
I'm sure if it was our job and we had to make our livelihood on it, and if we didn't get to go to the game, it would directly affect.
Well, RSL is pulling their coverage of the team as a result.
You mean the Salt Lake Tribune?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean that's I don't know.
But even that rubs me the wrong way. Like,
always Kyle Beckerman being back.
There it is.
There it is.
Truth.
We have the answer.
Yeah,
so.
It's all Kyle Beckerman's
Kyle
fault.
Beckerman.
That's the second episode this year. I think we've blamed everything on a terrible U.S. men's national team player.
I think on Kyle Beckerman.
Always him.
Kyle Beckerman.
Who's the other? Who is it? Who did we get on the other day that you said? I'm sure he worked hard to get to that point. Chris Wondolowski.
Yeah, Chris Wondolowski.
I was like, I remember two things. He missed the wide open goal in the Belgian game, and something else. I'm sure he worked hard to get to that point. Worked hard to miss an open goal.
Well, anyway. That seems like a good place, as good a place as any to end the episode. If you're listening still, God have mercy on your soul.
If you're still listening, thank you for listening, and also get used to it, because we're going to have to take another week off because the schedules don't align. So
it's unfortunate.
This was a triple entente, and the next episode will also be a 3-game episode. So apologies, because I really hate long podcasts. They're brutal, except for Dan Cohen's Hardcore History. That's the only long one I can listen to. But
all right, well, buckle up. Don't worry. I'll take a liberal touch with the editing room floor scissors. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening. We're at
check us out. Yeah.
ScissorTailPod@gmail.com @ScissorTailPod. Yeah. All right. Peace out.